Hey, what is up, guys? I'm here back again, relatively late here with this video. I usually work on my videos, or at least my kind of what I got into. Usually I get them done much earlier, but it's about to be 8 o'clock. So with that being said, I am gonna try to rush through my trades. Luckily, I didn't actually take a lot of trades here today. Um, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about the trade that I took. I want to talk about the trade that I missed, and I want to talk about a quote that I seen here on Twitter recently. And what was seen on Twitter, the quote that I liked was, I think it was, trading is the hardest way to make easy money. And I seen that quote and I was like, dude, that is a very true statement. All we do realistically is click buttons. For anyone who day trades full time for a living, has been doing it for a while, that's what we do. We come in each and every day. Hopefully we prepare the day before, the night before, or maybe the morning of, two hours or so before market open. We have a plan, and you just come in and you just click buttons. But it's not just clicking buttons. You have to go through this kind of education process that is so unforgiving, and what I mean by that is, like, there is no other way around the fact that, like, when you first start trading, for the most part, like, you're more than likely going to fail. And for the people who gain instantaneous success, they usually lose it fairly just as quick as they gained it, right? If they're not paying attention to the market, or they don't understand the certain conditions and cycles that the market goes through and the ebbs and flows of the market, it really is the hardest, easiest way to make money. And you put the time, the effort, the studying and stuff like that, and it pays off, tenfold when you actually do it the right way. But I really like that quote. I thought it was a really good quote because I think it is really true. This is the hardest way to make easy money, in my opinion. And yeah, just want to leave you guys with that. But anyways, so let's go straight into basically what I traded today. So I got into Amazon here today. I'm going to talk about this trade, which was my only trade. So I got into Amazon, and I got into it fairly early here today, and then I got some good scales in. So yet again, sort of like that PLTR trade that I tried to take and that SPY trade that I took, we ended up getting a nasty top wick here at 9:30. Got another one at 9:32. I seen this beautiful flush out. We got back up with a nasty top wick again, so I entered. Of course, I had entered when we actually failed previous day highs, so I got in like about here. Like 226.60s-ish area is where I got in. And my guide, and I want to make sure you guys understand this, because I don't get stopped out unless my level is actually proven wrong. And I'm going to go into detail as to what does that mean. So, I have this I'm going to basically immediately start to trade red. Like, I get this nice flush out in my favor, but immediately this gets reclaimed. Previous day highs gets reclaimed. But what I start to notice on the tape, by the way, this is my stop right here. So let me just state this. This is my stop right here. That's my stop. We get just a little bit above it, and I don't stop out. Why don't I stop out? Because I want to see this level show that it's willing to hold. I'm not going to sit here and stop out of this trade just because, hey, it gets breached by a couple of cents. It needs to hold that level, guys. If you're starting to see top wicks get heavy, and you're starting to see like wicks, look at all these topping tails coming in on this tape. If you're starting to see these topping tails come in, chances are sometimes you'll get these little wicks over where your stop would be, and it'll sit right back down. You don't want to be the person who sold a couple of cents above just because that's where your stop is, right? This is not financial advice. Everyone has their own way of trading. But for me personally, when I'm starting to see, like, look at this. Top wick. That's one top wick. Two top wick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, it's clearly showing that there's something up here that is holding it down. Now, can volatility bring it up and crush over? Sure. But you have to be aware that you don't want to be the guy who stops out like a cent over. Like, you don't want to do that. Don't put yourself in a position to just get stopped out because you're like set on, hey, it cannot get above this high. Guys, this is 10:06. You know what I'm saying? It's still very, very early. The key I just want you guys to know is if you're gonna take your stop, make sure that your stop is a good stop. And there are such things as good stops. Being stopped out here, just because it got like 1 cent above this candle, if you got stopped out here, that's a bad stop. That is a bad stop. I don't care. I will. You want to see, if this is your stop level, you want to see it hold over your stop, not just boom boom. Or if this candle really got strong and really got going and it was gonna go like parabolic-esque, stop out. But don't just stop out because it went 2 cents above, due to volatility coming in. It makes no sense. You're setting yourself up for failure. But anyways, so I got my first entry here. We got this rip up, tanked right back down. On this pop right here, I got in my full size position, and I just rolled this bad boy all the way down. I had covered, here's what's interesting. We get this nice, and whatever I told you guys, whenever you guys get a chance and you start noticing kind of a channel, draw the lines. Draw these lines, guys. You draw these lines here, and you can see where is this going to start getting really, really heavy at. And as soon as we failed this, right, we got this sick... By the way, this move was crazy. We had this flush out, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going so good. This big candle comes back up. I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, are we really going to start just living here? And then we got one right back down. And once this candle came in, the mistake that I made was not triple Xing my size. Honestly, when I see an engulfing candle like this get immediately engulfed back, I literally should have 3 times my position here. Or I should have did it on this previous day high failure, the purple line. I should have 3 times my position and honestly just put the stop here. Because there's no reason why an engulfing candle followed by another engulfing candle followed by another engulfing candle should not happen. Right? If we start seeing this, and then another one that's up here, Godspeed, whoever wants to be in that, be in that. But I should have got extra sizing on this, but I didn't, so I'll run you guys through the rest of the trade. We had this pop, fail. I covered a partial of my position, actually the majority, like 70% of my position right here on this flush out. And then I rolled the rest, and I held like 5 runners. I got out of 3 of them right here, because if you just draw a line looking left, this is where it started getting wicked. So I covered 3, and then I kept 2 on, and as soon as this popped up here, I got stopped out because it basically covered the whole bar. So I stopped out of the last 2 on that position. I had a pretty nice position on too, man. I had a pretty good amount of contracts, so that was really nice. My only trade of the day. Let me go ahead and remove these prices, even though I do think that 227 is going to be a key level for tomorrow, more than likely. But that's my Amazon, and that was my one and only trade that put me up 1.2% in my total portfolio on the day. And let me show you my miss, man. This is going to kill me, bro. I missed Meta today. And boy, was I pissed about this, man. I'm not going to sit here and lie, guys. I was pretty PO'd about this missed opportunity because of how prepped I was for it. We get a beautiful, guys. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to go macro really quick. Look how we've been kind of getting... We flew right over, came right back down, started failing. Supply. Wick, failed supply. Wick, failed supply. Got back over, flushed out, got back over, flushed out, failed supply, failed supply. So there are some exhaustion moves. This is what I consider an exhaustion. It gets right back up, gets exhausted out over the supply, and now we're living under the supply zone. We're now under the 20 daily moving average and the 10 daily moving average. So I actually missed this trade here. I loved this trade. We got a nice flush out, a pop, lower high. You can risk anything you want towards pre-market highs, and you just get a beautiful wash. Now I'm gonna share some information as to why I missed this trade, and I'm gonna be completely honest here. I do partake in the occasional edible, a little bit of marijuana and some chocolate. You know, so I ended up taking an edible last night, and basically on 7/14, I took an edible, and I woke up because when I take an edible, I sleep really well. So I took an edible to get some really good sleep. I woke up late. I woke up feeling groggy. I didn't have my cup of coffee in the morning. You know, usually I'm up, guys, at like 6:30, 7 a.m. So I get 2 hours of like chart time, maybe play a little bit of Cyberpunk, maybe some Marvel Rivals. And then I get serious at 8 o'clock. I just want to, like at 6:30, I'm just taking a glance at the market, looking where everything's at. And then I'll play a little bit of video games. I'll get my coffee going. 8 o'clock comes, turning all that off. I'm in the zone. From 8 till usually like 1 o'clock, I'm in the zone. I'm focused on some charts. And I wasn't able to do that, guys. Right? I didn't prepare how I usually prepare. And because I didn't do that, I missed out on the opportunity because I was groggy. I had taken an edible. I wasn't fully focused. Didn't have the coffee. You know, all of these things. And because of that, I have now implemented a rule where the only time I'm taking an edible is when it's the weekend. I'm no longer going to be doing that during the weekdays because this was the cost of opportunity. You know, this is a missed opportunity. This move would have been almost like a 5% portfolio gainer here today. To me, this is an A+ setup here. I'm not going to say here and lie. This is an A+. I love shorting, guys. That's one thing you got to realize. I'm a short bias trader. Even when we're trading the best of the best companies, I just read shorts better than I read longs. You know, it's just something I do. Now, I do take longs, and I've taken a few longs, but something about shorting, I just understand it. I just understand the tape better. I know what to avoid when longs are coming in. So, yeah, missed opportunity. Because of I want to say because of the edibles and me oversleeping. So no more edibles during the trading week. Only on weekends I'll be partaking in some edibles, and that's basically it. So I know we did end up getting a little bit of earnings from I think banks today. So I'll be doing a little bit of research here tonight. I'm gonna go through some of my charting softwares and see where we're at across the broad spectrum of the market. And yeah, that was it, guys. So officially now, I'm up about 14%-ish, 14% in the last like 7-8 days of my total portfolio, which is really, really nice. You know, the compound is starting to get really, really real on my portfolio, guys. So yeah, that's basically it, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys found some value out of it. And that's it. Later.